Shalom. First off, I'm going to start off by saying all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Karkadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, peace and mercy, hope, elect preachers, word and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah, in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And I wanted to go on this video. I'm gonna title this The Coming Famine. How great is it? You know, and when you look at these videos, if you take time to break it down to its brass tacks, it brings it into better understanding, man. You know, it's something that people don't really understand or take the time to understand, because when they think of something like famine or food shortage, they think that it just means, you know, you're going to have to eat smaller portions. It can very well mean that your portion has to be completely skipped. So peep this.
COVID-19 has wildly altered the way supply chains operate. The pandemic snarled the world's sprawling supply chains for months, shutting factories, disrupting shipping, and making it difficult for companies to get products from factories to consumers. Well, the changes have been so dramatic that many firms want to forever change the very definitions of supply chains. Joining me now to discuss is Dean John Quelch from the Miami Herbert School of Business, and let's welcome back Boomba's co-host Ben Swan. Dean Quelch, let's start with you. Many companies, they're looking at ways to prevent supply chain disruptions in the future, the ones we saw during the pandemic. Is this a new way of doing business?
Supply chains are extremely critical to the efficiency of the global economy. And pre-COVID, during the free trade era, if I can put it that way, goods and services were moving with increasing lack of friction across national boundaries. This gave companies the confidence to rely on extremely long supply chains, typically from Asia into the U.S., for example. With COVID and the tariff war combined, the disruptions caused many companies to reassess their supply chains, particularly looking at diversification away from single suppliers and away from single countries of supply, i.e. China in particular. In the short run, there were certain low-tech products that shifted some supply out of China into Vietnam and other Southeast Asian countries. But actually, it's very difficult to alter these supply chains and to set up new ones in a short fashion. So one.
You see? So these supply chains being broken spelled great disaster. And
in China.
So peep this. I got this scripture, and it is so like, yeah, Isaiah 32. I'll get it real quick. Isaiah 32 and 10. It says, many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And that's what we're seeing. You know, the vintage is failing, the gathering is coming. You know, the things in this world that you were able to be sure on are no longer working. Supply chains are being broken, which is what causing a lack of product. A lack of product causes what? Inflation of prices. Slower ability to meet the demand, which what increases tension. It says, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. And this goes for you men too, because a lot of you men live like women, man. All out, just immersed in and partying BS, trying to make money, make dollars. This is Ezekiel 14. Ezekiel 14. Ezekiel 14:13, it says, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out my hand upon it, and I will break the staff of bread thereof, and I will send famine upon it, and I will cut off man and beast from it. And that's what supply chain breaks cause, famine. So now it's obvious. It's obvious now with the state of the world that there's a lot of people transgressing the Lord's law. You know, homosexuality at an all-time high, woman worship at an all-time high. You know, adultery, and the adulterous culture that's going on now is just so awful. You got fucking women doing pranks. Let me see if I can find it. You got women playing around doing pranks saying, let me see, X2. I saw this and I was sitting there like, what the hell? Let me see. There was one with a fucking nigga woman, man, and the shit disgusted me. This whole prank culture and this stuff, it's awful, bro. You know, I can't find the one that I had seen earlier today. I sent it to the brothers, but damn nigga woman was asking this dude's friends as a prank. She says as a prank, can I give you a kiss? To the dude's friends, and only one of them screamed as soon as she said it, hey, Zay, ready to snitch on her, man. And the last dude was like, you sure he's not gonna be mad? And he looked like an Edomite. So this is what niggas get for hanging out with Edomites too. But back to the lesson, for the sins of this world, the Lord is about to bring this famine. So peep this.
Fresh foods such as eggs, seafood, chicken, and vegetables are in short supply, apart from production and supply chains being affected by the pandemic. In China, fresh foods such as eggs, seafood, chicken, and vegetables are in short supply. Apart from production and supply chains being affected by the pandemic, heavy rains ravaged vast areas of industrial and agricultural land. Those heavy rains caused massive flooding in the Yangtze River Basin, which accounts for 70% of China's rice production. The prices of staples such as pork, corn, and soybeans have risen.
So 74% of China's rice production destroyed. So let's see how much rice China produces a year. 207 million tons. So 74%. Let's do the math on this, so you get an idea. Now, mind you, the way they keep this whole steady flow of food going, because though Esau doesn't teach it, the different areas of the world have different grow seasons. So the way they keep the food going throughout the entire world, because people don't have the mindset of pickling and storing their own food. People don't have the mindset of grocery shopping and making it so that this food can last you a winter. People buy, consume. What they don't consume, they just throw away. Due to different grow zones, this is why all these countries have a supply routes, and they interchange their food with one another so that when this one country is out, this country can supply. Grow zones are extremely important to the food chain. Now, 270 tons, right? 207 tons. Let's do 207. 270 million tons. That's what I said. Yep, 207 million tons. So there's your 207 million, hundreds, thousands, million. 207 million tons. Let's do it divided by, divided by 0.74. That's not right. Let me see. That's 153,180,000 tons of rice gone. Now peep this. Now let's say that rice, majority of that rice was for Chinese people, right? How much rice? Let's put rice consumption. Rice consumption per capita reached 126 kilograms, which is about like 260 or so, 245 or something like that. Pounds of rice per person. That's per person, right? 126 kilograms, right? So let's do a kilogram divided by a ton. So 1 kilogram So 1 kilogram is 907.8 kilograms. So that's 1 ton, right? So there's 153,001,080,000 tons out of production. See how many people that feeds per year. So let's see, divide that. So if you divide that 907 kilograms by 126 kilograms, that's the rice per year person in China eats, right? That's 7.9 people. So that's 7 people right there, right? So we'll do the 7 people. Let's just get that complete number. That's 7 divided by the 153,000, 153,180,000 people that won't that's that 74% of rice that was destroyed. That means 21 million people are going hungry for a whole year off of that. Now imagine if the supply chains break everywhere. You know, this is something you got to be put in perspective when you talk about famine. How it comes about. The Lord is constructing all this.
Risen even more, the government has had to release strategic reserves to ensure adequate supplies.
See, they're the full storehouses. Let me get that. They have to release strategic reserves. Let's get that. Second answer is 6 and 22. And suddenly shall sown places appear unsown, That's your sowing places getting appeared unsown. And you get extreme flooding, destroying those crops, man. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall be suddenly found empty, and they're being emptied. The Lord is emptying them. You know, this is what the Lord's doing. This is how crucial it's getting. You know,
Food shortages have often sparked political unrest, making food security a concern for the Chinese government.
hey, that's when you get the submission among people for the very lack. And get that. Second Ezra 15:9, and man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. This is exactly what this video is talking about, right? This is what happens when famine comes around.
And with the Clean Plate campaign, a reflection of this, the China Academy of Social Sciences forecast a grain production gap within China of about 130 million tons by the end of 2025.
Hey, 130 million tons just going to be swept right off. So, you know, that means a lot of people are going to go hungry, man. I'm gonna end it on that for that video. I'm going to get my last few precepts and close this out. Ezekiel 5. This is how real famine gets. Ezekiel 5:16. Famine ain't nothing. The scriptures tell you those that die by the sword are better than they that die by the famine. For these pine away for the very want for the fruits of the field. Ezekiel 5:16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, I will increase the famine upon you and break the staff of bread. And that's happening. So will I send upon you famine and evil beast. And it says, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee, said I, Yahweh, have spoken. You see? So the Lord talked about these famines, man. The Lord was all with it. He commanded these famines. When you go to the book of Matthew, Yahweh was talking about these famines too. Matthew 24:7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. You see? And I firmly believe that 2021 may very well be a year of famine. I remember this is probably 2 years ago. There's a video that came out. I believe it was from the Ice Age farmer. I believe it's from him or solar something. It's a dude that was studying the solar minimums and solar maximums. He was sitting there saying, hey, over the last few years, grain food production and growth has been on a decline. So the canned foods that you're getting from these grocery stores are fruits of crops prior. So the food supply was always dwindling already. You know, the scriptures tell you when the Lord was going to put out the nations, he would put them out bit by bit, right? So this may very well be the same thing. So Lord willing is edifying, I'm going to say, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakada Shalom.